Hello, 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 everybody. Oliver Nino here, the spiritual activator, and I'm so excited to be joining you here in this live. Okay, and in this live, okay, I'm gonna talk about my new book, okay, that I released yesterday. This is Spiritual Activator. Okay, the 5 steps, right? To clearing and blocking and protecting your energy, right? To attract more love, joy, and purpose. So real quick, I'm gonna go dive deep in here. I'm actually gonna go over and share practical tips, okay, for you all to experience. And I'm gonna wait for everybody here to come on live with me. All right. So if you guys are seeing me and hearing me, comment yes and yes below real quick. All right, real quick, just so that I know our tech is good to go. And I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds here to get online. Perfect. All right, let's see here. It's gonna be exciting because honestly, this book right here that I have, okay, this is perfect for you if you're an empath. So if you are sensitive to other people's energies and you're looking for a way to, protect your energy, to clear your energy, to raise your vibration, to become, in a way, bulletproof from negativity, then I'm going to go over some of the practices you can use today, right, in this book. Now, also let me know where you all are tuning in from. So as we're doing this this live, I can go ahead and send positive energy your all's way, okay? Let's see here. We got San Diego here. Awesome. All right. Malaysia. All right, cool. Got a lot of friends in Malaysia. Cool. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. All right. Looks like we've got a lot of Ontario, India, South Africa, Ireland, Australia. Wow. England, Turkey. All right. Connecticut, Boston, South Carolina. Wow. All right. Got lots of folks from, from all over the world. Amazing. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Today, here's what you're going to learn. I'm gonna go and just pour a lot of value to you guys from this book. Okay. So today I'm going to go over the 3 types of empaths that there are. Okay. 3 types of empaths. I'm going to go over energy blocks. Okay. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it, energy blocks is so important. So important. Like what they are, how they affect your life, how they can be the big thing standing in the way between what you want and where you are right now. Okay, I'm going to talk about protecting your energy, clearing your energy, why it's important, right? And if we have time, I'm going to go over spiritual gifts. Pretty much everything that I have here in this book that I launched yesterday, right? And also, if you guys haven't yet, real quick, before we go forward, if you haven't yet, go ahead and go to spiritualactivator.com. Okay, I have this book here that they have there, and if you grab a physical copy of this book during launch week, so pretty much I think it's still Friday. Okay, you're gonna get a free energy clearing and healing session that I'm doing in a group setting. All right, and people typically pay thousands for this. You're getting it for free if you buy a physical copy of the book. Just go to spiritualactivator.com, right? And I'm also giving away a ticket. You're gonna get it if you buy the book to my 2-day, free virtual event on how to clear your energy. Yeah, just for buying a book. Again, people paid close to $300 just for that. It's a special bonus for all you folks that grab a physical copy of my book during launch week. You get that as well. All right, so let's talk about empaths. Okay, how many of y'all know you're empaths? I'm curious. Comment below. If you know you're an empath and you're sensitive to other people's energies and you get affected easily by other people's negative energy, let me know below. Comment below. And here's the thing. Okay, there are 3 types of empaths. Okay, and I'm gonna go over each and every single type of empath. Right. So once you resonate with it, let me know. Right, because a lot of people think empath's 1. They think it's a curse. The reality is no. Being an empath is actually a gift. Okay, it's a gift if you know how to use it. Right? If you know how to use it. And what does empath even mean? I'll give you an example. You can feel calm, you can feel yourself, you can feel peaceful. Next thing you know, you walk into a store, you walk into a crowded place, and next thing you know, you're absorbing other people's negativity. Someone's anxious, next thing you know, you're feeling anxious, and you don't even know how that happened. Right? You don't even have to believe in energy, for it to affect you. Energy is like oxygen. It's invisible. You don't have to believe that oxygen exists but we need it. We need it. We need it. We breathe it, every single second of every single day. And belief is not a prerequisite for it to exist. It's there. And same thing with energy is other people's energies affect us, through energetic cords. What are energetic cords? I want you to think about energetic cords as exactly what they are. They're a cord that are attaching from you to another person or another person to you. And it can be a byproduct of like you being around them, proximity. Proximity can create energetic cords, right? And also it can be a byproduct of, you thinking about somebody or them thinking about you with strong emotion. Either it's positive or negative, doesn't matter. If it's a strong emotion, that's there, the cords get stronger, right? And then these cords, what they are is they're transport mechanisms, right? They connect you, and when they're connected, there's an energetic exchange, information exchange happening from you and that other person. And based on, your vibration, based on, how clear your third eye is, based on your spiritual gifts, you may be feeling all of that intensely, right? Which I'm going to go over the 3 types of empaths. Okay, it doesn't matter if someone's far away. It doesn't matter if they're in another country. I've seen it happen so many times. Like, I'm blessed, we're blessed, like, me and my wife, we have students from, over 4 million people from all over the world, 80 plus countries, and we've seen it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if somebody is on one side of the world and there's another side of the world. It doesn't matter. You get affected the same, because energy is energy. It travels faster than the speed of light. It travels faster than sound, than intention. Energy is super, super fast. Before you can even think it, it's there. All right. So, and by the way, everyone that's watching this, okay, as I'm talking, because I've got, I'm probably gonna go here for the good hour, and I'm just gonna share everything that's here in my book. All right. And if you're resonating with something that I'm saying, do hashtag breakthrough, hashtag aha moment, and then comment below. Let me know what your favorite part is. What this does is it helps me, create better content for you, because I know what works. Okay, so just hashtag breakthrough, hashtag aha moment. If there's something that I'm talking about, you're like, wow, that's amazing, Oliver. I want to remember that. Okay, all right. So empaths. First type of empath is a knower. Okay, what's a knower? A knower is you just know what other people are thinking and feeling. You just know what it is. There's no context. It doesn't matter if it's behind closed doors. You're around people, and you know what they are thinking, right? How many of you are knowers? You just don't know how you know. If they're sad, you just know that they're sad. If they're off, you just know that they're off. Something's going on, right? And if I'm looking at different places here, because I've got literally 3 different devices, Facebook, Instagram, and we have also TikTok here live. So I'm just doing this. I'm looking everywhere here, right? Giving everybody attention and looking at the comments as well. So that's a if you're a knower, that's one, right? Second is you may be a feeler. Now this is intense, feeler. Okay, feeler, because number 2 is you feel what someone's emotion is, and you feel it strongly. It's intense, it's strong. That means if they're feeling fear, or they're feeling overwhelmed, or they're feeling anxious, guess what happens, right? Your body releases the same, chemicals and hormones. That's the same way that somebody is experiencing when they're going through that. So when it releases in your body, it produces the same thing. You can't differentiate if it's somebody else's or yours. In that moment, it is completely yours. It's affecting you as if it's yours. Right? And you can feel it, and it can be debilitating. And this is sometimes what happens when you're you're feeling good, you're going by your day, and next thing you know, boom, it hits you, and you're like, wow, why are you experiencing, roller coaster emotions? You don't know why, but that's one of the reasons why, is you are a feeler. How many of you all are feelers? Right? How many of you all are feelers? Right? And I talk about this, guys, in my book, Spiritual Activator, in depth. Right? Empaths and techniques. If you guys are joining me here, people are asking, what's the book? It's Spiritual Activator. It went live yesterday, right? Go to spiritualactivator.com. If you grab this book and this week, right, you're going to get thousands of dollars worth of bonuses. And not only that, I'm doing a free energy clearing and healing. It's a group 1. It's really, really, really powerful. You get it, if you actually get this book this week, you get that as a bonus. Plus, you're also going to get a 2-day virtual event that I'm doing on how to clear your energy. You're going to get tickets to that. People pay up to $300 to be part of it. If you buy the book today, a physical copy, you grab it, you get it for free. Okay, so go to spiritualactivator.com. Spiritualactivator.com. That's the place to get the bonuses. So being a feeler, okay, I mean, here's how I discovered this. This is crazy, guys. Get this. This was like several, it was 2000 and, too long, 7 or 8. And I remember back then, I wasn't always a healer. I mean, at least in the public eye. I mean, I'm healing like since close to 20 years now. But back then, I was still a closet energy healer. I didn't want to be seen because I was very successful in business. I had multiple businesses online, and if you guys know anything about that world, it's extremely back then not spiritual at all. Right, non-spiritual people were focused on one thing, and I was there, and by that time, I've done tens and thousands of healing sessions with people, but nobody knew. I was really literally hiding from the world, and the thing with that is, I remember I was very successful, and out of nowhere, I get this feeling, this fear, this anxiety when it comes to bills, and I don't get that. I don't worry about bills. I don't typically look at bills. I had my team looking at them, and I'm just not the type to worry, right? But for some reason, this ball of anxiety hits me out of nowhere, and I'm like, what's going on? What's happening, right? I had no context. And I mean, how many of you guys have had that? You're going throughout your day, and something hits you, and you have no context. Why it's showing up. Nothing in your life happened to produce that. You're just experiencing it, and you're like, what's going on, right? And it drove me nuts, because the thing is, at least if I knew what was going on, I can be like, all right, let me work on it, right? But if you don't know what's going on, and it comes out of left field, and it's like showing up strong, and it's this empowering and debilitating, and it grabs a hold of you, and you don't know what it is, gosh, it's not fun. So I remember I was swirling in this, trying to figure out, right? And 10 to 15 minutes later, I got a call from my mom, and my mom was worried about bills. That whole time, I was tapped into her mentally, emotionally, what she was experiencing, and I was experiencing the same thing. And by the way, this time I was living in Arizona, she was living in California. It's quite a drive, but when energy. When energetic cords attach, they happen fast, they happen quick. Doesn't matter where you are, you get affected by it. And this is where actually, for me, this was another level of oh boy, because by then I knew I was an empath, and I knew that when I was around people in public, they could affect me. So for me, it's okay, I already knew that, but now I'm in 4 walls at my house. And I can't even outrun. I couldn't even hide from people. I tried, and in the house, it still got me, right? And that's when I realized, wow, energy is insane. It travels, and it can affect you. It doesn't matter. There's no escaping energy, okay? There's no escape. It's the one thing, the invisible thing, it's the most powerful thing that affects you in your life. You can't escape it. You can just master it. You can learn it. You can have the tools. You can learn the tools. Which I talk about in my book. You can learn the tools on how to protect your energy, how to clear your energy, how to unblock your energy, so you can move forward in life. Because here's the thing, if you and I'm gonna get the third one, which is the craziest one, right? And the thing is, when I'm saying this, number 1 is a knower, number 2 is a feeler, the third one I'm about to talk about in a second. But you can have more than one. I'm all three. You can have more than one, and it's totally normal, right? And here's the thing: is energy affects us more than you think, right? More than you'll ever know. Because here's the thing, our thoughts, our beliefs, what's in our mind, it produces energy. Thoughts produce energy. Our emotions produce energy, right? Our decisions, what we do, produce energy, right? And the trifecta of that, your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, all three, guess what happens? All three of them, okay, control your vibration. And you all know this. Vibration, what? Vibration creates your reality, right? Vibration creates your reality. And here's how I describe vibration in a nutshell. It's like a channel that you're watching on TV. If you're in the horror channel, that entire channel is designed to produce what? fear, anxiety, all those different things, from the script to the visuals to the sounds to everything you see, is designed to do that, to produce emotions that make you scared, right? So what happens if you're on a horror channel and you expect something fun and loving and uplifting? It's not gonna happen a lot. 98% of the time, it's gonna be designed for the channel, and it's maybe sometimes you get it, right? But it's not a lot, right? And on the flip side, if you're on the comedy channel and on the channel where it's like uplifting, motivational, inspirational, everything there is designed to lift you up, right? Majority of it. And if you get things that aren't, they're very small. But here's the thing, okay? When it comes to, like, if you're living your life right now and you're like, hey, Oliver, you know what? I want more abundance in my life. I want more financial freedom. I want more love, but for some reason I'm attracting people who are toxic and their hearts are closed. Or I want to feel better with my physically, and people, doctors just can't explain what's going on, but I just don't. Or I want more internal peace, or I want to do my purpose work, or I want to own my power and step into in my light. And then you can't, right? You can't. Typically it's because your vibration is against you. You are in a vibration to where what you want is not available there. Because we at any given time can tune in into different vibrations, right? And if you're in the vibration to where your heart is closed for some reason, consciously or unconsciously, and you're looking for love, right? The person whose heart is open, you're not gonna attract them if you're on the vibration of a closed heart, right? All you're gonna attract are people who have their hearts closed, or who are on the vibration that makes you feel like your heart's closed. And the thing that you want the most, you repel, because you're in very, very polar vibrations, right? And the key there is to change it, right? And the fastest way to change it is through energy. Through energy, because here's the thing. When you do energy work, this is probably the most powerful breakthrough I've had, and I want you all to write it down. When you are doing energy work and you're addressing things at an energetic level, all right, you do not need to know the source. You do not need to know the root. You don't need to know how it happened, where it happened, because, newsflash, the source of the trauma of where the energy was created may have happened before you were even born, right? When I go over the 4 types of energy blocks today, you're gonna see it. It might have happened before you were even born, and in that case, how can you shift something when you weren't even there? You didn't even create it. You weren't even there. How do you shift it? So if you have the rule of, I need to know the source before I can shift it, you'll never know it. Therefore, in your mind, you'll think you'll never shift it, right? But here's the cool thing about this whole thing. Thoughts produce energy, okay? Emotions produce energy. Decisions produce energy. And all that in the energetic trifecta, right, controls your reality, because that controls your vibration. But those energy that's being produced, right, if it's disempowering, can be lodged in your energetic system, and they become blocks, right? So for example, someone has a block in their heart. And all you think is there's a block in the heart. That's all you think, right? But you'll never know if that block in the heart is connected to 40 different limiting beliefs, 80 traumatic events, right? 60 disempowering emotions, right? And things that have passed on. You never know. And you'll never have to, and you'll never need to. Because when you remove that block, guess what? You move forward and you experience the life that you want, whether it's more abundance, more peace, more freedom, more purpose, more clarity. You experience it. You never need to know the source of it. Because the thing is, it's not that a thing happened to you. This is a big one. It's not that something happened to you in the past, right? It's not what's stopping you right now. It really isn't. It's that the past produced energy, okay? Produced energy, and that energy affected your vibration, put you in a vibration to where the vibration that you're in is the reality that you're experiencing. And to change your vibration, you got to change your energy. You got to remove the blocks, which I talk about here, removing the blocks, protecting your energy, clearing energy, raising your vibration. And when you remove the blocks, you get to where you want. That's how you change your vibration, right? But you've got to be able to remove the blocks. And I'll give you an example. of different things, because there's like, and again, I know we talked about the empaths, and I'm taking a little bit of segue here because it's important, right? Let's talk about a little bit of energy blocks, and then we'll wrap up with the empath thing. So with energy blocks, there's 4 types of energy blocks. 4, right? 4. I'm going to explain this to you. Yeah, number 1, first type of energy block is energy that comes from life events, traumatic events, life/traumatic events that happen. That's one energy block. Second energy block comes from your environmental, and I'll go over these, don't worry. Energy block number 2 is environmental. Energy block number 3 is gestational, while you're in the womb, okay? And energy block number 4 is from generational stuff, passed on, ancestral. Your great-great-grandmother had it, your grandmother, your mother, and then now you have it, right? It's the same pattern. Those are the energy blocks. And real quick, because I know a lot of people here are saying that they got to go somewhere, they got to go to work, and you're watching this stuff. If you are watching this, real quick, before I go on and dive deeper into energy blocks and empaths, and hopefully we have time for clearing energy and spiritual gifts, right? But here's the thing: my book launched yesterday. Okay, by the time you're watching, at least the time of this recording, it launched yesterday. It's Spiritual Activator, right? And I've got a lot of bonuses if you buy this week. Just go to spiritualactivator.com. That's the website, spiritualactivator.com. And if you grab a physical copy of my book from that site, spiritualactivator.com, okay, the bonuses that I have that are available this week, 1 is you're going to get a free energy clearing, unblocking, and healing group session from me. In the past, the only way people have been able to get this is they pay $3,000 to $4,000 to go through my energy healing certification program, and they get the group healings from me then, right? And I only do group healings because I've been doing this for close to 20 years, and I have not done typically for the public a one-on-one healing type for several years now. We have close to 500,000 in the waiting list for that, and I only do groups, and typically you have to be in my energy healing certification course. Or last year I recently opened up to the public, to where people pay $200 to $300, and we do thousands at a time typically in Zoom as a group healing, and people feel amazing afterwards. Their life changes. Now, you don't have to pay nearly that much, or not close enough at all, because during the launch of my book, what I'm doing is a special bonus is if you buy this from spiritualactivator.com, you get a free energy healing and clearing session that I'm doing in April. You get tickets to that, and also I really wanted to over deliver, so I'm also giving y'all free tickets to my 2-day. It's a 2-day clear your energy event. It's a virtual event, and last time, and again, when I do these 2-day virtual events, people pay hundreds. Typically, last time we had 15,000 people over the weekend that joined us. Okay, you're getting this 2-day virtual event for free if you go ahead and buy this book right now. Grab a physical copy of the book. Go to spiritualactivator.com, grab it now, and those are the 2 bonuses that we have currently, and a lot more that you're going to see there. Okay, so hopefully that helps for people that are asking what the site is, spiritualactivator.com. So here's the thing, okay, the 4 energy blocks. First one, again, life event. What does this mean? Something happened in your life. Something happened earlier on in your life that caused you to, and that's affecting you right now, to change your vibration. And I could be simple as, let's say a kid gets bullied in the playground when they were 8, right? I'll give you an example. They get bullied in the playground when they're 8. It affects their vibration. Or it can be something that you don't even think or would think would affect your vibration, like a kid talking to their parents, super excited to share something, and in that moment, let's say the mom or the dad was reading a newspaper, or they caught the mom and the dad in between a text or an email, not meaning to ignore the child, but just caught him in the middle of something. Okay, if that child looks at that situation and is like, wow, I'm not lovable, I'm invisible, they don't even care about me. If that thought comes out as a reaction to that, guess what? The thought has an energy. Those thoughts have energetic outputs to it. That's number one. And now if that thought produces emotions like sadness, inadequacy, like, fear, anger, and hurt, every single one of those emotions also has an energetic output. Second. And third, if that child makes a decision now, okay, of, you know what, I'm just gonna hide. Since I'm invisible and I'm unlovable and I'm worthy, I'm just not gonna shine my light. I'm gonna dim my light. I'm gonna self-sabotage. I'm not gonna be seen because it's not safe. The world's not safe, right? And the decision now becomes, let me hide. The trifecta of that, the mind, the emotions, the decisions, produces three trifecta of energy. That energy now controls your vibration. Now that child will grow up, I'm promising you, because I've seen this happen so many times. In that vibration, what do you think what are the kind of problems, who are the kind of people do you think you attract in that kind of vibration? Right? What do you think? Right? If that's the case, I've seen it happen so many times. People have this, next thing you know, they have problems with abundance. Right? They have problems with abundance. They have problem finding love in their life. Because people that are in that vibration are people that are closed hearts or make them feel invisible. Because that's what exists in that vibration where you feel invisible. Abundance, it really is hard to come in that vibration at all. Because when you're in that vibration where you're invisible and you're hiding, then you're hiding from everything, even the good things, right? So if you're in that vibration, all of a sudden you're experiencing everything you don't want. And you might try everything you can. Right? And if it might work, it might be the 2% where you experience fun in the horror channel. But the majority of the vibration is going against you. Right? And that's an example of a energetic block, right? That's in your energetic field, okay? That affects you. Because the thing is, your energetic field, and I talk about this in the book and more in depth. I'm going to kind of glaze over it here. But our energetic field, first there's the auric field. It's like an energetic skin. Right, and the auric field can be 6 feet, 18 feet, miles, and it can be huge. And anyone that's interacting with your auric field, energetic exchange is happening, right? And if it goes deeper than that, now it's our energy centers, it's our chakras, right? To where we have several of them, and the blocks can be there. And if that's not dealt with, it goes deeper. Then it goes in our physical body, in our physical body, muscles, bones, tissues, organs, blood, and affects us physically. And if it goes deeper than that, and it's intense, then guess what happens? It goes to our DNA level. And if it's the DNA level, that gets passed on generationally. DNA level stuff gets passed on from generation to generation to generation. Right? Until you remove the block. Enough is enough. You remove it, you end it, you release it with love, and then no longer becomes part of your story. And then you no longer pass it on to future generations. Right? But that's, again, that is energy work that at its finest. Right? So that's an example of how it affects us. And if a block is in one of those areas, right, then it may affect you in the areas that matter to you. All right, matter to you. And so number one is, again, that is life events, traumatic events. Second is environmental. That's the second energetic block. Is environmental. What is environmental? Your environment affects you, and this is how you know if your block currently right now is environmental. Think about, in your house, are you supported or not? Do you feel heavy, energetically, or light when you go to work? Do you feel uplifted or drained when you're around your family or your friend circle? Do they lift you up or drag you down? Do you feel like you can step into who you are and be accepted and be loved? Or is it one to where you're not, right? All of these questions are hard ones to ask, but this is how you know if your environment is supporting you in your growth or it's blocking and hindering you from the life that you want. All right? So for some, it's environmental. And by the way, let me know, which block do you think you have right now? What's holding you back? Do you think your energetic block is traumatic events and life events? Let me know. Do you think it is environmental so far? Right? And your environment drags you down? It's good to know, because when you're here's the thing. When you're being seen, when you're typing in the chat, #aha moment, #breakthrough, and you're being seen, guess what happens? The virtue of being seen, the act, like I told you, decisions produce energy. The act of being seen, right, raises your vibration. Raises your vibration. Right? It's why I'm asking you. When I'm asking you guys to do stuff, it's not because it's for no other reason but things that I know will raise your energy and raise your vibration. That's all it is. Being seen, being vulnerable, owning your story, and it's one of the hardest things to do, but it's one of the fastest ways to raise your vibration, and it works, right? So that's the second one. Third one is gestational. Gestational. And this one literally tripped me up when I first heard about it. It was so crazy. Like, wow, gestational? Generational is the fourth one. Let it cut out of the bag. But gestational, that means there's trauma, energetic trauma, while you were in the womb. This is why, energy is my favorite way. Because if you're in the womb and you can't even see, hear, experience life outside of the womb, how are you supposed to know that something traumatic happened that's affecting you? You weren't even consciously processing things in a way where you're able to know and really work on it. You can't. That's why when people say, like, I got to remember it, you don't. You got to figure out what the energy is, because not everything can be remembered. Right? So gestational is crazy. So my wife, by the way, you probably all know her. She's also a Hay House author, Mandy Morris, manifestation expert. Like, one of her backgrounds is like we lived in Norway several years ago because the scientists over there were studying her. Okay, they were studying her because here's the thing: they had machines there. They got lots of super advanced machines that we geek out with. But one specifically that they had, okay, they're able to hook people up. And they can tell, the machine will tell, because it will ping your nervous system, your brain, your cellular memory, and it will tell you with exact precision when a trauma was created. When a trauma happened, that the body registered, and that trauma is stopping you and blocking you, right, from moving forward in your life. Okay? Not only can it tell you that, okay, it can also release it. And the reason why they were studying her, because she could do what the machine could do, twice as fast. And she could do it. Because the reality is everything that machines can do, we can do. We have it. We are, in a way, the supercomputer machine of energy. We can do it. We can outsource it to the machine. It's not bad, but we can do it as well. And they were studying her because they were baffled on how she was able to do that. Right? And that's where spiritual gifts come in. People that are spiritual gifts, machines don't even come close to people that have spiritual gifts. They don't. Right? So they were studying her because she could do that. And I remember one of this particular stories that I heard from the owner of the clinic there is there was this individual, like, in his 40s, and he was deathly afraid of bridges. Super afraid. But every time he would walk, he would bike, he would drive to the bridge, he would have this debilitating fear, right? And didn't know why. Right? And again, I'm mostly skeptical. It's funny, I'm actually teaching energy. That has been my field of work, where I'm skeptical, left brain, I'm always prove it to me type. So you gotta ask for somebody who's wired that way for me to even get here. Then I would have seen thousands and thousands, and I have synchronicities, miracles, things that are happening to make it undeniable that this is what it is. Energy is energy, right? So I remember this individual, like, deathly afraid of bridges, so got hooked up to the machine, and the machine was like, the trauma was created 24 weeks. And he was like, it's kind of odd. 24 weeks, you're still in the belly, you're still in the womb, right? So that's what happened. And quick water sip here, guys. Okay, and I remember he called his mom and was like, Mom, I'm in this clinic in Norway explaining what would happen. I'm working over my fear of bridges, extreme fear of bridges. And he was like, the machine says it's 24 weeks. Like, I wasn't even born then, right? And his mom, kid you not, rushed off the phone, was so uncomfortable, was like stuttering, and was like, I gotta go. And it was so out of character, right? And he didn't know why, because he was just talking about a machine and bridges, right? So next thing you know, a few hours pass by, then mom calls, and mom was sobbing and crying, and he could barely make out, the words that mom was saying, and she eventually kind of became more understandable. But the gist of it, long story short, was when mom was 24 weeks 24 weeks pregnant with him. She was driving through a bridge, and it was storming, raining, storming. It was just not the ideal driving conditions, right? And the car spun out of control. Went over the bridge, took a nosedive, and hit the water, right? And luckily, they had bystanders there that helped her out, right, and pulled her out and got her into safe ground. But her immediate reaction was putting her hand, on her womb, in her belly, and saying, "My son, my son's gone," because she didn't know. She didn't know he was still alive. And that moment, gestational energetic blocks were infused in her system and also in his, to where 40 years later, he is still being affected by it with zero clue of what's affecting him. That's gestational, by the way, right? And it's crazy. When I heard about that, I was like, wow, that is, my mind was just like, wow, I don't even know. But it's very real, and it happens. And how many of you all have gestational energy blocks? Put it below. Let me know. If you have gestational, let me know, because it's a real thing. It's a real thing, and it's one that's like, it affects you until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you soar and you realize what life could really be like without it, right? So there's gestational, and then the last one is generational. And generational really is, again, it's passed on. It's passed on. It's one to where, you're like, it's like, if you look at the family line, you're like, everybody in the family line has it. And your great-great-grandfather had issues with, let's say, fidelity, and grandfather had it, and then next, your dad, and then you're like, shoot, you have commitment issues or whatever you call it, right? Giving you an example, right? If it's passed on, and it's generation to generation, then what ends up happening is something happened back in the day, but way before you, generations before you, that you'll never know. You'll never ever probably know. It happened. The source is not available for you to access, but you don't need to, because the energy behind that action, that thought, that emotion still exists. It's in your DNA level, cellular level, passed on, and it's now with you. And we all have it to some degree. We all have it. That's why we're in things. We don't know how we do things, why we do things, why we act the way we act, why we have certain fears and blocks, right? I remember my grandfather was deathly, he was a doctor. I come from a family of people who are doctors and in the medical field, right? Doctors in the medical field. And my grandfather, who was a doctor, afraid of needles. Dad, afraid of needles. When I was younger, afraid of needles, right? It's like, what's this whole needle generational fear, right? But that's an example, but it's real, right? But the thing is, it doesn't have, once you release it, it doesn't have to be passed on after you, because all that is that's energy. When it becomes so intense and so potent, that's energy that gets trapped really in the cellular level in your DNA, and it gets passed on. And when you free yourself of it, what ends up happening, is, that's why I say, this is my tagline: heal yourself, heal others, heal the world. That's not sequential, it's simultaneous. When you free yourself of it, guess what? There are cords attached to you from other people, forward, sides, and back. That means as you work on yourself, as you free yourself of it, the patterns that you have within you, they have it as well. So as you free that and shift that and clear that, it clears it within them as well. Really, really powerful, right? Really, really powerful. So generational, how many of y'all have generational stuff? Okay. And I'm gonna share with you guys how to release it. Okay, how many of you guys have generational stuff? Put them below, right? So those are the four: life events, blocks from life events, and traumatic events. Okay, blocks from environmental, gestational, generational. Now in this book, Spiritual Activator, 5 steps to clearing and blocking and protecting your energy. I go through a 15-day protocol on how to do that. How do you protect your energy? So when you can go out there, you're not absorbing negative energy from other people. How do you do that? How do you clear your energy? So if you have energy in one of the 4 that I mentioned, how do you release it? How do you raise your vibration? So when you're on the right and high vibration, you are not affected by other people's energies. How do you discover your spiritual gifts? Right? All those different things. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to worry about energy clearing at all, how do you clear the things that are in those 4 levels? Because if you buy my book, which released yesterday, at the time of this recording, it released yesterday. If you buy my book this week, you go to spiritualactivator.com. Spiritualactivator.com. Okay, there's bonuses that I have as a special bonus for people who buy it this week. And one of them is you're going to get invited to my group energy clearing, unblocking, and healing session, where I tap into your energy. Like I do a clearing on you wherever the block is. It's whatever's for the highest good to be released. I release it. And it's very, very powerful. I've done this so many times. Like, gosh, over 20,000 plus healings that I've done. It works. And it's one I'm doing in April. If you buy my book, spiritualactivator.com, okay, you're going to get an invite to my group energy clearing and unblocking sessions. Really, really powerful. And on top of that as well, I'm going above and beyond here, and I'm going to be throwing in, if you buy it now, a ticket to my two-day virtual event. Yes, we do in-person events, but we also do virtual, because virtual we can reach more people. The last one we did, we had 15,000 people who paid to be part of our 3-day experience, right? So for a 2-day experience, you're going to get a free ticket if you buy a physical copy of my book today. They'll get a ticket to my upcoming one. I'm doing it in April as well. So you're going to get 2 things, and a lot of other bonuses, but 2 things, which is a ticket to my 2-day Clear Your Energy virtual event. Free when you buy this book today, physical copy. And you're also going to get the free, group energy clearing, unblocking, and healing session I'm going to be doing as well over Zoom. So you get all that. So if you have blocks, if you resonate with any of the blocks that I mentioned, you can come in there, and whatever's for the highest good to release, we'll clear it. Okay? And where can you buy it? You can buy this book right now. Go to spiritualactivator.com. www.spiritualactivator.com. Okay? Where are your in-person sessions held? Currently, we do have a retreat center in Colorado, but most of the stuff we do virtually because we can reach more people. Okay, reach more people. Can I purchase from Amazon to get a ticket? Yes, you can purchase to Amazon for sure, but you still have to go to spiritualactivator.com because you have to put your confirmation number so we know where to send the bonuses to you. You know what I mean? So even if you purchase it on Amazon, which is on Amazon, then go for it. But still remember to cite spiritualactivator.com because that's where you actually can register and put your confirmation number in so we can give you your tickets and your bonuses. Okay? Now, let's wrap it up. I know we have, 10 minutes left here, almost on the hour. Okay. The third thing, okay, so those are the blocks. But the third thing is the 3 different types of empaths. Now that I'm going to go full circle, I can actually finish my train of thought. Is the first one was you're a knower. Second one is you're a feeler. The third one is what? You're an embodier. Embodier. This is, again, like all these crazy stories. This is a crazy one for me. Because as an embodier, you're feeling people's physical pain in your body as if it's yours. And I remember when we were in Sedona several years ago, my team kept nudging me like, Oliver, you should go do your website sucks. You're old information in there, and I'm like, I really. The website's the last thing to be updated because I'm always just serving. So it's the last to get the attention and love. She's like, do a photo shoot. We need new photos of you. I'm like, okay, sure. So the team booked a photo shoot, and I remember this gal picked me up. And the moment I walked into her car, my left knee started hurting. And it hurts as if I had lifted something wrong. But I haven't gone to the gym in 3 weeks at that time. I was actually thinking I probably should get back in it. Right? I didn't do anything crazy. And I started thinking, this is crazy. This knee pain starting came out of nowhere and it's affecting me. I mean, crazy. So I went on 2.5 hours, sucked it up, did a photo shoot. And on the drive home, it dawned on me, I didn't have this knee pain. Okay, before I met this person. So I was like, this is kind of odd. Let me just ask her. So I looked at the photographer and I'm like, you know what? Really, really random. I know it's out of nowhere. But how's your left knee? And she looked at me like, what? Like how did you know kind of look? And she was like, yeah, crazy that you asked. But, apparently she was been playing high impact sports since she was in high school. And she had a lot of injuries. And left knee was one of them, right? And for some reason, that day was the day that it was actually actually affecting her. And I was like, yes, because I was like, and I was like, oh, no, I was like, sorry, I'm not celebrating your pain, right? And actually, because I had like this yes thing. And I was saying, and I explained to her what, an empath is and the embodier is. And then I walked out of the car afterwards and separated ways. And as she drove away, the pain left. And I was saying yes, because I was like, I know that this is not mine and I know it's going to be gone. And true enough, as the car drove off and as I walked off and as a little bit of time, like a few minutes passed, the pain went away. Sometimes as empaths, it's interesting. It's not just that we know stuff and we're knowers. It's not just that we feel stuff that we're feelers. We're also embodiers to where it's all three. How many of y'all are all three? You're a feeler, you're a knower, and you're an embodier, right? And it's not, none of them are fun. But when you're able to clear your energy, erase your vibration, step into the spiritual gifts. There's 5. I unfortunately, I don't have time to go over them today because it's like, it will need like, another hours for spiritual gifts. But there's 5 of them. If you step into spiritual gifts, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to own your power. Like, and you realize that what you thought was a curse is actually a gift. It's actually a gift. It's the best thing that's been given to you. We were never given the tools, to resources to deal with them. And I know how energy, oh my gosh, I got stories for days. I mean, I was just at Gaia. They invited me to speak last weekend, and I was just sharing with them, how energy can change your life. And for me, my biggest wake up call, because sometimes when you're starting off, the universe, God, higher power, divinity, whatever you believe in, right? A carrot gets dangled. They're like, hey, here you go. And at the very beginning, when I was still in my business phase, like close to 20 years ago, guess what was dangled in front of my face? Abundance. Back then, that was what is important. For me right now, it's making a difference. It is changing the world. It's my purpose work. It's what drives me. It's what gets me out at night. It's what keeps me up at night, right? And I remember back then I wanted to grow my business, and nothing I did worked. Working harder, working longer, didn't work. Do a lot, very, very little. It's like watching paint dry. Really frustrating. And I remember, a friend of mine was like, you should get an energy clearing because it will help you because you got blocks. So I met this guy. He's an Australian healer. Back in the day, was one of my early teachers. In terms of, I never knew what energy was, and he knew what it was, and I never knew what chakras were. And I thought they were some sort of chocolate, right? And he's like, nope, they're actually energy centers. And it got me my first foundation of just knowing what an energetic body was. And I got an energy healing from him, and he was like, you got abundance blocks coming from your dad. Okay, it's passed on generationally. And I'm like, okay. And I was super skeptical the whole time. I was just thinking about food because I was hungry. And I'm like, this guy is like, nuts, right? And I was just sitting down there as patient as I could. Got this clearing from him. And towards the end, he looks at me and he was like, you know what? You got that energy block. It's released. Now you're going to experience more abundance, a windfall of it in the next, 4 to 6 weeks. And I'm like, wow, I got a 2-for-1 special. Not only did this guy clear, my chakras, right? But now I also got, a magic 8 ball and a fortune cookie in one, right? So I was like really, really just in my mind. Of course, back then I was super people pleaser, so I couldn't say what was on my mind, but I thought it, right? And fast forward, didn't think anything of it. 5 weeks later, an opportunity drops in my lap, and I ended up making more in one day than in an entire year due to energy. Now, to be fair, in 2 months I blew it all. Because guess what? Energy got me there fast. Energy can get you there fast. But my mind and emotions, they weren't ready for that level of abundance that quick. So I was like, Mom, what bills do you want? I have 4 sisters. Like, hey, what do you guys want as gifts, or where you want to go on vacation? I did all that stuff, bought some stuff because I wasn't ready for it. And and the thing in my book, I talk about that and how to solve it. Because the thing is, when you're working with energy, it's also, my approach now is, it's very simple. It's energy will get you there fast. And on the way there, you're working on your mind and your emotions so that you don't self-sabotage and you don't lose it. And I talk about it a lot in depth. The stories in this book, right? And I want to end in this note because you're probably thinking, like, who is this book for? This book is for light workers. People who are light workers, people who are empath, people who are sensitive to energy, people who are gifted, people who want a better life. If you are right now thinking to yourself, like, I want more love, I want more abundance, I want more joy, I want more peace, I want more purpose. And it seems like it's a rat race. It's the same problem, different day, and you want things to change, and you want things to be better. I promise you, it's an energy block. This book goes over that, because here's the thing, right? I'm going to leave you with this thought, and it's a really powerful one, is a lot of times, a lot of empaths, they get discouraged because they think this is what life is forever. They think what they have is a curse. They think that everything around, they experience so much suffering and so much darkness, and they're just like, they just can't with one more. It's just too much, right? When you master your energy, when you discover and step into your gifts, what ends up happening is your light turns on, or it gets brighter, right? And you remember who you are, what you're here, what you came from, and most importantly, what you're made of. And the important thing to realize is this, right? Write this down. So write it down. The light within you is the solution to the darkness around you. Even a pinprick of light can make a difference and lighten up a room. But light with full power, darkness ceases to exist. And what if, the biggest pain that you've experienced in life, there are clues to their biggest purpose here. Life's not here to make you suffer, giving you clues as to what you're here for, what you're here to do. I think it's Mark Twain that said it, the two most important times in a person's life is, the day they were born and the day I'm going to butcher it, this day they discover why they were born, right? Our purpose work. What if all the things that happened to you in the past were that, were clues as to what you're here to solve on earth, so that when you solve it, people won't have to go through the same thing you went through. And that's why it happened. And when you shine your light, step into your power, discover who you are, own that light, you're going to realize it's within you all along. The light within you is the solution to the darkness around you. And when you turn your light on, it's never the same. And that's what this book is all about. How to turn on your light, right? How to master your energy. 15 days to remove all the blocks holding you back, giving you tools to protect your energy, clear your energy, raise your vibration, and step into your spiritual gifts so life is never the same again, right? So you don't have to repeat the past. You don't have to repeat the chapters of the past. You can flip to a completely new chapter, completely new book, blank page. The pen is in your hand. The future that you want is yet to be written, okay? Energy is the fastest way to do it. And your light is needed in this world. So let's shine it together. And that's what this book is all about, right? So if you enjoyed this, thank you so much for joining me here. You can get a copy of this book on spiritualactivator.com. Go to spiritualactivator.com. I have links to every bookstore you can think of there, including Amazon. And if you buy it through, spiritualactivator.com, you get my bonus. I got thousands of dollars worth of bonuses there if you buy it today. But you also get a free group energy clearing and healing and unblocking if you buy it through spiritualactivator.com. And you're also gonna get, if you buy it during launch week, which is this week, a few days left, you also get tickets to my 2-day Clear Your Energy virtual event. So go right now, spiritualactivator.com. Okay, and make sure you share it with your friends. Tag people in this post. And let's go change the world together. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me here. And remember, okay, when you heal yourself, you heal others, and you also heal the world. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Thank you for listening in. Okay. All right. Logged off on Facebook here, Instagram and TikTok left. Instagram. Thank you so much. I see all of it here. I've been reading all your comments. Thank you. I love you all. Grab the book. Let me know what you think when you guys have the book. Tag me in it. I will repost it, share it. And this is one of the things that's going to change your life. It's changed mine. My wife and I have a little close to 4 million students from all over the world. And we're hoping to reach 1 billion because we just know that this changes lives and the world needs it now more than ever. So thank you so much. Instagram. Okay, grab the book, spiritualactivator.com, and I'll see you all soon. Love you all.